Hi, everybody. Good evening. Hope everybody's doing well on a Tuesday, seven o'clock here in Florida. But thank you, Eddie, for putting this together and taking the time to actually helping me out as usual. But anyways, I just wanted to give you guys a heads up that I did write notes, and I want to make sure that I go back to my notes, and because I have a tendency to just go way off tangent on a tangent. So first of all, thank you for everybody's support. I got a lot of messages, on Facebook and personal text messages. And also I wanted to apologize because I did not mean to offend anyone. I know Lucy didn't either, from what happened this past week at the US Open. And I can assure you that that was never my intention. But also, I'm not here to make any excuses. I just wanted to give a little insight of how things happen, and my perspective. So I'll start with Singles Day, and the reason for that is just because, again, I got some messaging of people, people wondering, and I guess talking about what had happened, and just kind of some concern for me, which I appreciate always. But pretty much, Singles Day. Irina beat me straight up. There's no doubt about that. And after I was done playing with Irina, I pretty much had a decision to make, and it was either that I would go out and grind for a couple other matches, or I would go home and rest. And again, when again I had a whole week of playing, and I had my kids there, so the decision wasn't easy. But at the end of the day, as Deco says, well, I am 41, and as Deco says, I'm an old lady. He calls me an old lady, and I know it's a joke, and he says it out of love. Uh, but reality is that I my body is takes longer to recover, and I have to think about that. I have to be considerate that I have partners, and that I'm always one injury away from not being able to play, or teach, or do what I do for a living. So anyhow, and again, I think with age also we become wiser. So I've played through injuries many times before when I was younger, and that's never fun, but you do it. But now I know, and I understand my body much better, and also my mental state at the point. So anyhow, also. The next day, when I came back, I had, Alex and I were playing split age, and we played. Our first match was actually probably the hottest part of the day. Somehow we really lucked out, and I'm being sarcastic. But Alex had been there for less than a day, and I mean, I was pretty tired already because I didn't have that much recovery from the day before. And so we went and played. When we went to play our second match, I think they killed us in about 10-15 minutes. And Alex, she told me, and I talked to her even today, and she remembers telling me that she felt nauseous, and feeling like she had to throw up, and I think a lot had to do with the heat and not being acclimated yet. So we both decided that we had fun playing. I mean, our first match was incredible, and we're like, okay, this is fun. This is what we wanted to do, is play together, because we've been talking about it for a couple of years, and so we were both on the same page with that. So again, I went home and I rested for the next day. I didn't do much on Tuesday. And then, of course, I'll jump into Saturday, which again was Friday and Saturday were both incredible days of competition. Super exciting for pickleball with live television, but just the competition in general. Pickleball has grown so much, and everybody's getting better. But anyhow. I just wanted to tell you guys that Lucy and I never left the court. I was with Landon at the time in the players box when the guys went first, and I'm not sure how the communication happened. I don't know. I was behind the curtain, and could I've done something better? Possibly. I don't know. I honestly, I'm not 100% sure what really happened, because when by the time that I came and Lucy and I came to get our medals and to take photos with Catherine and Kelly, we were not on the air anymore. So like I said, I haven't watched it. I haven't seen it. I don't know what happened. I just know that on Sunday, I woke up and there it was in front of me, messaging, some questioning, and the part that it was upsetting for, I think, for not just me but Lucy as well, is that it was more that it was question our character and our integrity. Shoot, I told Catherine I wasn't going to get emotional. Anyways, I got to say a joke or something. But anyways, I hope you guys know that that is extremely important for me. I'm not only representing myself, but I'm representing my family. I'm representing my sponsors, and I take huge pride on my responsibility and my role within the pickleball community. So also about Catherine and Callie, they know that and Lucy as well, I have respect for all of them, and we've been competing against each other. We train together, and we have the understanding that on the court we are all there to win. All of us, we're all there to win, and whatever happens on the court stays on the court. And when we're out off the court, is our relationship is as normal as it can be. I mean, honestly, like there is nothing that leaves the course with us. So I would say that that would be disrespectful to them. I totally get that, and that was never my intention or Lucy's intention. I'm speaking for her, but that's because she is my partner, and we are on the same page about this. So that's that. I am moving on. I know Lucy's moving on, and the next thing is that gosh, Catherine, we're a pain in my butt.
Sorry, I had to put it up there, Simone.
I know. But uh, goodness gracious. But anyhow, what I'm most excited about, which again, Ben, Deco, Catherine, Callie, Irina, and her Celia were a part. It was our first free event with kids. I decided, just because, again, I have two kids. I have a 7-year-old and an 11-year-old, and my 7-year-old has fallen in love with pickleball, and I think it kind of really drove me to inspired me to start a foundation. And my first goal with the foundation is that I'm going to help kids that are playing pickleball and that they want to grow and get better. So with the foundation, the plan is to bring them together to train them, but not only that, to fundraise, and it will be a nonprofit. Again, it's all going to them to travel, play tournaments, and to train together. So that is something really excited. I'm so looking to this. I'm very passionate about it. I also, of course, as you guys know, I train. I enjoy training. I love training, and I'm going right back to it tomorrow. And we'll train until Atlanta, which is my next tournament, and then one more in June, the PPA in San Clemente, and I'm looking forward to that. Which again, it's been very fulfilling for me, especially at this stage in my life. And that is what I have coming up next. Um, and then schedule of the fall is pretty brutal, so I will have to keep the training up and make sure that I'm staying healthy. That's, to me, is my priority at the moment. And That's about it. I want to make sure that you guys know that I'm thankful for everything that pickleball has brought to my life, and I don't take anything for granted. And Once again, thank you, for listening to me. I hope you know that I care, and sorry, my daughter, I embraced, and this is what I wrote here. I care and I embrace my responsibility within our pickleball community, which is, again, I do. Um, so Eddie, it's on your side, as far as um, I don't know if there's anything else. I, you know,
Well, I do want to say, Simone, if you're ever feeling down, you should go back and read the comments that are coming through right now from all your fans and the support and the love, and basically reiterating how much they love you, how much they care about you, and how they all know you're a character. So if you're ever feeling a down moment, come back and take a look, because there's just been some incredible support being poured through these comments for you.
Thank you. I, you I, I've been in this sporting business for quite some time, and I know that um, I've never imagined that pickleball would get to what it has, like what it is today, and I guess I tend to take things more personal than maybe most, but I don't know. It can be good and it can be bad. So I haven't. I'm just saying that it does occupy space in my head, and I absolutely absolutely hate letting people down, and um, I think that's what it was more for me. Um, and at this point, all I can say is I'm sorry, and um, I can't promise you that I'll be perfect, because I'm not. I'm not. I'm a human being. I make mistakes, and I'll make mistakes. I'll pull out I'll most likely pull out of singles at some point in time, and I really like. I can't make any promises that I can't keep, because I know that I will falter at some point, and I think we all do. But I do understand that I will do my best to, be more aware of situations like this, um, and that's all I can say.
Yeah, we do. Like I said, there's a lot of support coming in here. We did have potentially a couple questions come up if you're up for if you're up for answering them,
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
because you had talked a little bit about recovery. Made a joke that you're 41, right, and most of the people you're up on the court against are in their 20s and 30s. So this question came in from Allison Smith. What do you find works
Mhm.
best to help your body rest and recover?
I've been definitely I've stretched. I've been stretching way more than I ever did. Even when I was in college, playing Division One tennis, I realized now how important that is. I also do PT, physical therapy, because I've always had little injuries here and there, and those come from long hours on the court for many years, and I've become. It's almost like my brain is used to them, but they are still present. And the harder I train, of course, the more careful I have to be. I could tell you, I could say yes, get plenty of sleep, but you can see the bags under these eyes. The sleep, I totally know that that is extremely important, but sometimes I just unfortunately don't sleep as much or as I should. But I'm working on it. Um, and I think, of course, eating well, eating better. I have done a much better job with that. And I don't, um, I feel like I've taken a couple of days off the last couple of days, but also I can't take too much time off just because then I'm more likely to sustain injury when I go back to training. Um, and of course, staying hydrated as much as possible. I do love coffee. So I've gone a lot more on the decaf side, trying to drink some tea as well, like with no caffeine. So yeah, so just kind of doing a better job overall, just to kind of have a healthier lifestyle.
That's good. We actually have kind of a fun question here, and this comes from Andrea Pemberton. And Andrea said,
Aw, I was on the
lighthearted
phone with her
question.
early.
Yeah. Lighthearted question to make you smile. Who had more fun with the juniors dancing and making TikToks, you or Hercilio?
Hercilio for sure. It's like I think he's a kid anyways. I don't know how old Hercilio is, but I'm pretty sure he's pretty young. But I mean, in all honesty, I just when we were at the Phi, I was hanging out with the kids. It keeps you young. I mean, I have a 7 and an 11-year-old, like I said, and I also seeing them uh, just laughing and smiling and having fun. It was very fulfilling. And Andrew's kids, both of girls, are great kids, and um, I just it was yeah. So I think definitely her silly on that, but I know that I um, I was kind of smiling inside. Let's put it that way.
I like it. We have another question here, and obviously, anybody that knows you knows that during COVID, you really took time to increase your physical training and getting yourself, as physically fit as possible. You don't have to answer every one of these questions here, but Marsha Wolak said, "Can you please put out more physical training for pickleball videos? How much weight did you lose, and how did you do it?"
So it's actually pretty interesting. So somehow uh, I I have changed my body composition. So believe it or not, I'm leaner, but I'm about maybe like honestly 3 pounds lighter. Not that much, but I know that I look different, but that's because muscle weighs more than fat. Um, but I kind of went a little crazy about that. I bought a squat machine, a squat rack. I have a gym set up in my garage, and I started just lifting, not like weight heavy, but more repetition, and just really trying to like be leaner, and which to me it has helped on like my agility, my stamina, and also I just feel better. But yeah, um, and again, I think the thing about COVID is that for my mental health, I think that was extremely important, being physically active. Um, because of I think first 2 weeks I didn't do much and I was not feeling well. I just felt, I don't know, sluggish and lazy in a way, which is not me. And then once I started working out, it was like I I became um, addicted to it in a way, and it has been so much fun. And so yeah, so I definitely have changed my body in a way.
Great questions coming in here. We have a few more if you still have time, Simone.
Yeah, absolutely.
Um, so this one comes in from Nicole Bass, wondering, do you think pickleball will be an Olympic sport one day?
I hope so. I mean, I really do. And when I think about it, the more I think about it, I think that that's why I feel pretty passionate about the growth of the sport with the younger population because if I'm hoping that when it happens, it will be that the kids that are playing today would be the ones that would be representing ours, that would be representing the USA in the Olympics. So I think that the growth of it has to happen from a younger age because again, the some of the people who are playing today unfortunately, they will be much older, and so the importance of create an environment where the younger. Oh, you're too funny. Um, Here's my barista. So thank you, Donna. So there's of growing it with children. I think it's what will determine, and of course it has to happen in many other countries, but that's kind of my thought process is that in order for that to happen, we'll have it there, because again, I from my understanding, it has to be put in way years and years ahead of time.
It's cool. Yeah, we all hope it makes it there
Yeah.
to the Olympics. Good question here. This is from Janine Klein. And Janine asks, if you had just a half hour to work on your game, what's the one thing you would concentrate on?
I go back and forth. I don't like to stay linear. So for me, like if there is half an hour is definitely a short period of time, but if that's all you have, I would pick something uh, that you're working on, something new. So if that's a new shot, a new skill, something that you're working on that you're going to be terrible at it. So I would work on that for quite a bit of time. So let's say 15-20 minutes. But because it's going to be pretty hard, it's going to be you're going to you're going to fail quite a bit. Then I would dedicate the last 10 minutes to work on something that you're really good at it. So that way, like when you finish your practice session, you feel good, and then you'll be excited to come back the next day and continue on to the new skill, because understanding that it does take time to develop a new skill. But that's 30 minutes. I think you can, especially in pickleball, you can accomplish a lot in that short period of time.
Courtney Miles wanted to say, I can answer this one. Ernie's.
She knows that. She knows that. That's except that I can practice in my kitchen too. I was messaging with Ben, and I was like, I think the kids think I've completely lost it when I'm cooking dinner and I'm jumping the kitchen. I'm jumping in the kitchen. I'm so clever. Yeah, so I'm like doing the steps in the kitchen, figuring out how I'm gonna be able. Like literally, I had to learn how to like do the footwork because it's something completely new for me, and most of the time I feel like I have no clue what I'm doing, but it's so much fun. I mean, are you kidding me? What sport you can figure something new to work on? After playing for for 5 years, and that's why to me it's so intriguing, the newer players when they come in and they have new shots and new skills, and that's kind of what makes it so interesting, that you want to learn those new shots, the new skills, and uh, I guess my what I told Ben is like, I guess you can't teach what is it, an old dog new tricks. But I think it's what makes it so much fun. So, and I still, it's still, Courtney's still a work in progress. As you saw when she was cheering me on and making me play, as she said it, make me play. Where's Waldo?
That's great. Let's see here. It looks like we have time for maybe two more questions. So I'm going to
Perfect.
pick two good ones here. Oh, here's kind of a technical question from Busy B1 on YouTube, and they want to know. You said in one of your videos you don't topspin your return, and I was wondering what is the technical reason. I'm assuming they mean return of serve, right?
Yeah, yeah. So the reason that I don't, and I would say, especially with the Dura Fast 40 ball, is that and this is my preference, is that I think that when on that return of serve specifically, is that the ball tends to then sit up higher, after the bounce, it comes up higher, and I think it's a bit easier for my opponents to either hit a drive or hit a drop, because the my preference, and most of the people that I play against, they slice the ball, which tends to stay lower, which then requires more footwork to be able to hit a good drive, and the drive would be coming then down up instead of up down, and then also for the drop, as the ball is moving either away or into your body, again, it requires adjusting your feet to make sure that you get underneath the ball to then lift for the drop.
Makes sense. And I think we have time for one more question here, and this is from Lisa. I'm going to butcher your last name, Lisa Kosks. And Lisa wants to know, how do you stay focused all day at a tournament between games?
So I often, in all tournaments are different, but usually is a different approach to different days. So like for singles, I tend to put my music on in between or before or in between matches, and stay loose. So I'm stretching, often like snacking, just to kind of keep up the energy, taking care of anything that I need to take care of as far as my body. And then I don't try to overthink. And I think why listening to music sometimes it helps, just to get my mind off of anything that might be bothering me, even if it's just, gosh, that was a tough match and now I have to go back at it again. So trying to keep like positive thoughts going through my mind. With doubles, sometimes is a little different because we don't get a whole lot of time. In most tournaments, we don't get a whole lot of time in between matches. So um, often I'm just trying to get my bathroom breaks in between matches, which happened actually at the US Open on mixed doubles day. We played on the same court. Ben and I played on the same court 3 times in a row, and we would go and play, and then we would go start to walk back, and then they would call us back, and we were going back and forth. And I just remember by the third time, I was like, oh no, man, I gotta go. I gotta go. Otherwise, it's like 3 matches in a row without using the restroom. So I was just like, okay, I'll go back and then I'll run, because it was literally like back and forth. So just kind of taking care of the things that I can control, and the things that I can't, I just can't. So that is one thing, is making sure that you stay up, hydration, of course, and your food intake. I've done a lot better with that. Cynthia, a lady that I met actually in Newport, has been huge, influencing on some of the choices that I make on match days, because certain things can be inflammatory. So yeah, so just really focusing on some of the things that can help me just perform better and recover faster.
These questions were awesome. So thank you for everybody out there for them. And like I said, Simone, I really think you should go back and read a lot of these comments because you got a lot of love coming through.
Well, that means absolutely everything to me. Like I said, I appreciate so much, and I know that it's part of the job, that some things are not always go my way, and some people might take it in a negative route, and unfortunately, we all have that part where it can, it can affect us, and I think I always believe that people are good and mean no harm. But sometimes it's just, if you're in a vulnerable state, you just kind of take it a little too personal, and then unfortunately that's that was me. But anyhow, anyways, to wanted to make sure that people kind of understood a little better of like I said, I honestly, unfortunately, I don't know what happened on Saturday night, and I'm really sorry. And I can tell you this, is that I I know that it's something that Lucy and I would never do. And I know, again, I can't apologize enough. So
Anything else you wanted to talk about then tonight here, Simone?
nope. I just, again, thank you everybody, and I really appreciate everybody's support, and I'll definitely read all the messages, and um, you know I I'm thankful for everything. I have so much support. Um, I think that um, sometimes my mind tends to wander and go in a bad direction, just because I do. It's not anybody putting that on me. I just do it to myself. I feel like, um, if I let somebody down, that I'm, I'm, I've made a big mistake, and that I no longer am worthy of the position that I'm in. So it's mainly my fault, and I just tend to take things personal. That's it. So that was really it.
Cool. Well, thank you everybody for tuning in, and hope you have a great night.
And thank you. I I have you've been there for me for since the day we met. So uh, I really appreciate your support, and everything that you do for me. And uh, and I know that we have lots coming up, lots of fun stuff coming up, for the YouTube channel. So again, thanks to this guy right there for getting it all together.
It's my pleasure. I'm happy to help. You're a true inspiration to everyone, and I agree with everybody's comments. So thank you.
Well, thank you, and have a good night, and everybody have a good night, and we'll see you soon.